Defiant ones right now with someone who's kind of pretty new to Defy, Adam Ryder, and he had a match tonight against the first Defy champion ever, Diers. How'd that go for you? Well, I'm sorry.
Brother, you know. Come on. Oh, no. Okay, let's put it like this.
What was it like wrestling Diers first off?
Holy shit. That might be the best way to put it, man. He's
intense.
Intense is the first word that comes to mind, and like, I'm blown away by his technique. I mean, this guy has been doing it for so many years, and it blows my mind just how good he is. And I'm like, son of a bitch, I gotta keep up with this.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I held my own a little bit tonight, but man, he's a machine, and all the props to him. I can't put that guy over enough. God damn.
Well, you put him over tonight, so that's
come on. I set myself up for that.
Exactly. So this is your what? How many times have you been up to Defy or down to Defy technically? How many times have you been down now?
Well, I think this is my third time.
Awesome.
Yes, my first time I just went impromptu.
Yeah.
And then the second time I just did about a couple of weeks ago for the Defy Vera Project show.
Yes.
That's
awesome. That was so cool. Seeing a punk rock show at the Vera Project alongside Defy. That was a really, really fun show. I got to do the ring announcing for that, so I got to announce your Vera Project debut.
I appreciate you for every bit you did.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I did that. This is my third time. And I was very happy with the reception tonight. I didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because, it's like, truly, sometimes I'm not going to lie, I can be a bit of a dickhead. But at the same time, like tonight, I was like, well, let's see what happens. And honestly, when everybody was like cheering, it warmed my heart a little bit. I'm like, yeah, it's nice. This is good to hear. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, man. That was pretty sick.
So let's introduce you to the Defiants, man. So you're pretty new to us here, but we're getting a kind of a taste of everything. So where are you from? You're from Vancouver, BC.
Yeah, from New Westminster. I've been living out there for about the past 3 years. Before it's been in the Vancouver area. Yeah. But before that, I lived in like Kamloops doing university.
Okay.
I actually have a degree in business admin marketing.
Wow.
So
okay.
Something about me. But then even before that, so I actually was in Prince George for my first years of wrestling. And there's no wrestling that happens there. That's like,
really?
That's about
dead zone.
That's about 9 hours north of Vancouver, man.
Yeah.
My first two years of wrestling, we literally, me and this other guy named Mahler, great dude, we traveled minimum 2 hours to get to minimum 8 hours to either Edmonton or rush into Vancouver to do a double shot for a weekend every 2 weeks because there was nowhere else to do it. And so for my first 2 years, I was cutting my teeth honestly on the road. Wow. Learning a lot, but yeah, man, that was a hell of a time.
So how did you get, if you're kind of wrestling in this dead zone, where did you train and how did you get into it?
Great question, buddy. Well, you don't train up in Prince George where you go get trained to try and find the most reputable person you could. So I actually got trained by Lance Storm back in 2008.
SWA, right? Storm Wrestling.
Yeah, Storm Wrestling Academy. I was in the 2008 there. I don't like to admit that. It was that long ago. But yeah, 2008, man, and I got trained up there, so it gave me great fundamentals. I was actually to Neil Dashwood's class.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. And we, it's funny, I look back at that class, I actually don't think anybody else, I don't know if anyone else is doing it. I hope they are, but I haven't been able to see anything in ages, so I don't know, we're the last two of that
class. But
class.
you and Tennille / Emma, you know her from Emma, she's, so there you go.
Oh yeah, it's good for her. She's doing fantastic. Obviously, watching Impact and everything else right now, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's I got trained there. Then I went to Prince George just to form a family thing, and then just traveling all the time. And then finally moved to Kamloops for university. I actually took a step back from wrestling because I was like a degree. I did it every so often.
Sure.
And then finally I went down moved to Vancouver afterwards and started kicking it up. But truly, I didn't start kicking it up till this year. I kind of wanted to come in and honestly make a name for myself this year. And I think because I just have the opportunity. I have a fantastic job they're fantastic to work with. And the thing is, I can travel and do wrestling and while still making everything work for my job.
That's great.
So I'm trying to push and make this something more. Last night, honestly, I was at Nation Extreme Wrestling in Vancouver. I just wrestled Josh Alexander. I'm actually the very first coolest fact about me. And it's only because it happened last night.
Yeah.
That's the coolest fact. I'm the only person in all of British Columbia to ever get an Impact World Wrestling title shot.
Nice.
In the entire history of TNA and Impact, has never been defended there before.
Okay.
I was the very first. So honestly, I'm holding on to that for as much as
There you go. He's in the Wikipedia.
I had Davey Richards tonight.
Yeah.
One of the
Josh
best.
Alexander, Davey Richards. Holy shit.
One of the best indie wrestlers all the fucking in the world. And then tomorrow night at WrestleCore, I've got Trey McGill one-on-one. Dude, I don't think any indie wrestler has had as good a weekend as I had this weekend. And you know what? And they probably could prove me wrong. I can say it,
but please don't.
But even if you do, please show me, because stepping up to having an Impact World title shot, wrestling one of the best indie wrestlers in the world, and one of the best former X Division champions in the world. Yeah. Like, God, who can say that? Who can say that?
I don't know. So let's go back to Baby Adam. Were you a wrestling fan, like as a little kid? When did you get into it?
Well, it's like honestly every wrestler. You love it, you leave. You love it, you leave. First time I watched it, 3 years old. Dad got me hooked. Loved Hulk Hogan. Amazing. Yeah, sure. Then I got older and I started actually rented wrestling tapes for literally 53 cents a day.
Okay.
I paid 53 cents at about 9 years old at it's called Video Update. That was the thing.
Oh yeah, Video Update.
Yeah.
2 for 99-cent Tuesdays. All my yeah.
That's cool.
They had a crazy wrestling wall.
Oh brother, they had a great one, and so I rented all the WWF ones because WWF was in TSN. We actually didn't get WCW for years.
Okay.
So I was a WWF kid, and I watched it growing up. I'm like, I rent every tape. I see the WCW ones. I'm like, nah.
I don't know what that is.
I know. I saw Hulk Hogan, so I'm like, I don't. He's not Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Razor was my guy growing up. I loved him, and then I loved Brett. Then I loved Shawn even more, and then it kind of grew, and then. But I love Razor and Diesel so much. And then one day, 99, I turn on TSN, it's like, oh, wrestling, WCW. It's like, oh, that kind of looks cool. And I'm like, what's Razor Ramon and Diesel doing on WCW? I thought they quit back in 96. Not even kidding. I thought that.
I was like, left wrestling at their peak?
I was so dumb. I was a kid. I was like, man, these kids, I'm like, oh, they left wrestling. Oh, man. And I saw them like, this is amazing. So I went back and I'm like, when do they come in? And I found 96, the Bash at the Beach. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is their first match. I was like, oh, all right, right. Oh, Hulk Hogan's a heel here. What's going on? Watched all the history going up. I'm like, holy crap.
You got to watch NWO in the past, but it was all new to you.
Yeah, 99.
That's amazing.
I know. I was like, wow. And I really caught it when it was on its way down.
Yeah, exactly. And then you check in, you're like, oh, what are they up to now? Oh, wait, it's the Dreads.
Oh, man. And then I fell in love with Sting. And, and I loved Scott Hall. He's still my favorite. But, and that was kind of as a kid. Then I fell out of love probably after, WWE won the thing. I was like, all right, cool. I see NWO and WWE. This is great. And then after that, it just petered out.
So what gave you the idea, hey, let's give this a try. Let's go to school to be a wrestler. Let's pick it up.
There's two moments. First one, 2005, my friend, his name is Michael May, wrestled up in Calgary. He's actually a man, but he ended up getting me hooked. We were at high school. And in a small town called Kitimat, BC, way up north. Okay. I don't expect anyone to know where the hell that is. In Kitimat, and so we went to high school, and I ended up, I saw some stuff like, oh, you're a fan of wrestling? So I'm like, okay, cool.
You a fan?
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. So I'm like, I went over to his place, and he showed me this computer full of stuff, and he's like, hey, here's Alex Shelley. Hey, here's oh, that's cool. Here's AJ Styles. Oh, here's Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, the thing that got me hooked was AJ Daniels Joe, the best triple threat in the world. And I watched it, and I'm like, I love this. I love it. I was actually a TNA fan from then on, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I watched every Impact, every show. Yeah. Every show I could. I loved it. And then the second thing that happened was I was such a fan. I actually went to film school, and I was like, all right, let's go to Vancouver. And I heard this little promotion on ECW. And I'm like, okay, I'll go check it out. My friend actually brought me there and hooked me up. And I knew one of the wrestlers over there, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll go watch. And then it was when I watched El Phantasmo against Kyle Ryder. Yeah. 2006, before these guys were these these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's all I said. I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this shit. And I was like, I loved it. And so I asked my friend to train me a little bit. His name's Volcano back in ECW. And he gave me my first bit of training and my first taste of it. Honestly, I asked my friend, I was like, man, I'm going to do this. So this training, Michael Bay, I'm going to do this training at Stars. Yeah. So he said, up we go. That's kind of when I got hooked. And, I watched as much as I could. And honestly, when I went to my, when I went to my classes, actually I was the inexperienced one. We had literally 8 Australians that had all training previously, and then five Canadians who had none, me included.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I'm really proud. I could hang with them.
Nice.
I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it was nice. It was good. It was a little proud of him.
How was Lance as a teacher?
Great, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, he was. He'll hit you between the eyes though if you suck.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, but he's great. It's honestly, he's like he protects you. He makes sure it's like he makes sure everyone's like safe and everything.
Yeah.
And I love it. It was probably the best fundamental training I could have had.
Yeah.
And it taught me everything I needed, but it also gave me a chance to try out new things. Cool. Yeah, man. I love Lance. I honestly haven't talked to him in 12 years. I'm hoping to change that soon.
Yeah.
Because, I love to reach out to my nose with impact, and honestly, it's like I'm saying, okay.
Hey, what's up, Lance? Remember me?
Yeah. He's part of the Patreon.
Tag at Lance Storm.
At Lance Storm.
Nice. Well,
somebody out there, tag at Lance Storm.
Exactly.
Please, I'm asking you. If you can do it, you gotta follow for me at very least.
Yes.
Probably a pick too.
So again, we are backstage here at Defy, where you can hear wrestling going on, fans cheering, the Defiance going wild, and that's the name for us, the Defiance. We're not just wrestling fans. We're a community. Defiance. What does the Defiance mean to you now that you're in this world?
Defiance, honestly, gave me probably one of the best receptions just coming out. I was blown away at how I forget I can swear in there.
No worries.
I was surprised how fucking good you guys are, and I appreciate every bit of it. Like just being accepted into this, being cheered, being loved, being and it's funny because I accept a cat a little bit here and there, and they can boo me. I'm fine with that, but honestly, I love it. It feels like home. Honestly, it feels like home because you get just treated so well that I appreciate every one of you. And honestly, it's from the bottom of my heart. I actually sincerely appreciate it. So any support I get my way, honestly, I'm gonna return it back in every aspect. So honestly, the fact that Defiance is such a good community here that it was built up. Like it's been built up, and you guys have kind of come together to be an even better community. Probably honestly the best community in wrestling.
Yeah.
You guys have not even just a PWG vibe, you have a Defy vibe, and that's a thing to say, which is amazing. Like, who has that?
Yeah.
Who has that? Defy has that. That's it. It's so cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's awesome to hear you say that. Sometimes I feel like I'm just fishing for compliments when I ask that question, because no one ever says anything bad about Defy, man. And the Defiance, it's an incredible thing, and it's amazing to have you here and join this community, join this family, and whether we boo you or we cheer you, you're one of us, and it's awesome. So what are your goals for 2022, man? It sounds like you're really going gung ho with this. You were mentioning kind of the day job is supportive and you can be on the road out there. What are your goals for the rest of the year? I mean, we're 6 months in, but what are your goals?
Well, I'm off to Toronto next week at the East Coast.
Awesome.
We're out there. I want to get more exposure to the East Coast, both in New York, Florida, everywhere. I want to get seen where everybody else is. Honestly, here's actually one of my biggest goals. I want to work from Vancouver and be able to work anywhere. I'll do the travel. I don't care about the flights. I do love Vancouver. I love Hong Kong. If I can move east, I will. But I want to try that as the thing. I want to become a full-time contracted wrestler, and I want to be able to travel from my home to go visit everywhere I can. To go maybe working in the East Coast, maybe working on the West Coast. I would say this: if I'm going to do baby steps, let's do baby steps.
Sure.
Defiance, what I would like to do is I would like to go work West Coast Pro Wrestling. I would like to get out east there. I'd like to work Championship Wrestling. I'd like to work, honestly, I'd like to work anywhere and everywhere I can, just to get my name out there. I want to be on the level of Kevin Black, Adrian Noctis, and I want to be able to step up and be known as that next guy.
Yeah.
And because if I can get known as that next guy, I plan on honestly just keep on growing and getting better, being better, and honestly putting on matches like I did with Davey Richards there, with Josh Alexander, and hopefully with Trey McGill tomorrow. I can guarantee tomorrow's going to be a kick-ass match. But that's honestly my goal. I love wrestling, and I want to be able to give that to the fans. But I want to keep pushing to do better and just be that next guy.
Awesome. Well, we hope to watch you elevate, and we will support you all the way, whether, like we said, whether we cheer or boo, we'll be with you watching. And one last question for you, man. If you could pick a scar on your body, tell us the story of how you got it, man, and show us if you can.
So there's no actual scar. It's nothing seen right here on the arm, but hold on one second.
Yep.
Let's hear this. I dislocated this elbow.
That was nasty, dude.
Yes, I can still pop it like that to this day. This happened 13 years ago in my 10th match. I actually had a mentor who would help me out a lot, and he helped me out a ton. He'd always say it's like, he helped me quite a bit, but it's like I did all these crazy things in front of small crowds, and it's like I didn't realize what I was doing. You're always doing all this nuts stuff.
Yeah.
But just trying to put on a show. I did a running shooting star press just off the ground. And I popped I landed a little more on this and popped right out and in the middle of the ring. And I was like, holy shit. The guy, thankfully I was working, he ended up putting me in submission and tapped out right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't move it, it's fired through my arm.
Yeah.
And thankfully we had a paramedic who dove in the ring. He was like checking it out, he's like, okay, let's see how this goes. And he's like, he put his thumb in my hand, just like this, as simple as this is. Just like that. And all he does is he tells me, squeeze. And I'm like, I can't. I can't. He's like, do it. Sit here. All it is back in place. And I squeezed. Popped my elbow right back in the ring. But I ended up going to the hospital anyways. They checked it out. It's like, no, it's in. It's popped in place. They x-rayed it and everything. But I had torn muscle and blood all the way up through my arm here.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was in a sling for about 6 weeks, and it was a bad dislocation. Tore up everything, and then it took about an extra 8. It took about 10 weeks to get back in the ring, but just because I needed the rehab, honestly, it's like, no, I gotta fix this arm, and that's better. But I came back and I was like, okay, learned my lesson.
That's a nasty.
I have not done a running shooting star press since, let's say that.
That's a nasty visual, but thank you very much for sharing it, dude.
You know what, buddy? I'm happy to share, and sorry for posting the video.
Adam, dude, thank you so much, man.
Thanks.
Check him out, Adam Ryder.
Appreciate it, guys.
Life at your